Hello, everyone. I am so extremely excited to be here today. We are here and this is our kickoff at the Starting Over Now Summit. I am your host, Erica Kareem. And people ask me, why did you want to do a Starting Over Now Summit? Listen, we have been in the house for 2 years, 2020. People are depressed. People are not telling what's going on in their lives, what happened in their lives in the past, and how the heck were they able to start over? So while we had a thing called what goes on in this house stays in this house. That was something that our grandparents, our mothers, our great grandparents, they instilled that stuff in us. And so a lot of times we don't share what's really going on with ourselves. And not
Yeah,
only that, how the heck do you start over from the dramas, the traumas, and the disappointments? So
yeah.
I have my guest, Melesha Oglen here. And so, Melesha, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Hello, my name is Melesha Oglen. I am from Alabama, and I am an author, small business owner, and a speaker.
Good. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Now, tell everybody, why did you decide to join me in this starting over now? Now, let me just share with y'all. Melesha has been on one of my other summits, and
Yeah,
she is so amazing. But guess what? When I put the call out, she didn't have to join me again. She had that choice. So, Melesha, tell everybody, why did you decide to join me for a second time?
well, the first summit on healing was awesome. I met some amazing ladies. We were able to share our stories and to be in host and helping one another and helping others out there. So what better way when I seen this summit pop up, I was like, okay, I've been through divorce, I've been through certain situations. So this is for me too. Let me share my experiences, let me share my story and keep on this awesome path that you're opening this platform for so many women to be on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I just want to say that you are so amazing. And there's a saying I seen years ago, and it says, God, people's rejection is God's protection. And I'm just telling you, Melesha, people just don't understand. So if you've ever been rejected, if you ever felt like this person is not in my corner, at the end of the day, they're lost. Okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
So, Melesha, tell everybody your story.
Well, a little bit about my story. Of course, I have, of course, been rejected. I have been separated. I've been divorced. So I've suffered grief. So this summit just covers everything that I have went through in my life. So of course I can relate. I don't have a PhD, but I have a PhD in real life experiences.
That's right.
So I can share my experience. You know, divorce is hard, grief is hard, being separated is hard, being single is hard, but how we transition through it. And our faith is the number one thing that helps us go through. You know, we have those moments where we feel like we can't make it, but those experiences it makes us stronger. It may not feel like it at the time, but when you go through so many experiences and you feel like, oh my God, how much more can I bear? But then you realize, okay, I done got through this. I'm on to the next level.
That's right. So tell everybody, what's your story? So you want to talk about your divorce and how you overcame? Like, what do you want? What are you here for today? Or you want to talk about which portion of your life? Because we all got so many portions, right?
Look, my divorce ties in with divorce and the separation.
Okay.
I got married when I was 18, of course. So this was the love of my life. They called it the high school sweetheart. So everything was new. I grew up a PK, so I grew up in a holiness Christian strict back household. So we wasn't allowed to go out and like, date and go out with guys alone. If guys came over to see us, our parents were sitting right there. So, I grew up in a real religious family. So, I didn't really have the experience of like going out there dating a lot of guys and doing a lot of things that other kids my age were doing. My mother protected us and she lived her life and she governed us according to the Bible. So I got married when I was 18. So this was the love of my life. I was in love. And we things were good when we started off, courting and got married, and then things just kind of turned. I got pregnant, but things just kind of he started hanging out with single friends, and that's the great mistake. When you're married, you can't hang out all night with single friends.
That's
Single
right.
friends leads to nothing but disaster because they don't have anything to govern them. They don't have any rules. They don't have anything to go by. They can live their life fancy free. So I feel in that, not that I was a perfect wife. I had my share of we're young, we're learning. So I messed up a couple of times, but there was never infidelity. I felt like until after we separated, even though I was still legally married, then I started dating someone else. But it started with the abuse, abusive words, then a slap here and there. And it just did a couple years after I married, it did with a deterioration of the relationship. And it was heartbreaking, of course, to me because I was head over heels in this love. I worshiped the ground this man walked on.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like I didn't feel like I was gonna make it. After we separated, then we got back together 6 months later, and then we tried, and it just didn't work. And yes, of course, I was heartbroken, but I knew then that it was time for me to file for divorce. So I didn't waste my time. When we separated the second time, I filed for divorce. 3 months later, I was legally divorced.
Yes. So, so do you agree that most people should just not file for divorce immediately? They should separate, see if they can work on it or anything, or do you think
You
that
know,
that's case by case?
I think it depends on the case. If you're in a marriage that you're separating from physical and mental abuse, there's no reason to see if you can work it out. Get out of it because it can only escalate and get worse. But a lot of people, I feel like, when there's infidelity and different things that go on, I feel like even though, okay, yes, it hurts. And some people say you don't get a second time to abuse me or hurt me. But I feel like give it a couple of months, a couple of months to see how you feel because you may feel, okay, we can work it out. And sometimes people learn from that first mistake and they don't make the mistake again. But
Mm-hmm.
that's just my opinion. Everybody have their own take on it. But I just feel like through life we have go through these experiences and we shouldn't just throw the towel in immediately without really thinking things through and see where it goes because you might see 3 months of separation and say, you know what? I don't really want to live without this person and I don't never want to screw up again to hurt this person and lose this person.
Yes. So fast forward, um, did you become friends or did you just become enemies? Like he's a done deal. Tell us about that.
We were when we divorced finally, we were enemies for a little while. We were enemies. To the point where I was really hurt. When I say enemy, I'm not gonna say we were just bashing each other, but I couldn't stand him
Okay.
because when I married him, I was a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like you should have cherished me as that wife and that woman because to me that's special. That's rare to find. But I just felt like you just took for granted what we were building and you just left. When you decided to go to another woman and take care of them and walk out on me, you walked out literally on your birthday.
Mm.
I had my family over and I had did this big birthday dinner for him, a surprise, and he walked in to tell me he's leaving me.
Oh, that is a mess.
And
Mm.
my mom pulled me to the side when he was in the back packing clothes. She said, "You better not shed a tear."
That's right. Oh,
She
I love
she
it.
said, "When he leaves and that door locks, you shed your tear, but don't let him see you broken."
I know that's right. Shout outs to Mama. Okay,
Yes.
Absolutely. That is so awesome. It's so good to have strong mothers. It
Yeah.
is so good that when we're younger, we don't cherish our moms like we
Yeah.
should, right? Because we like, I don't like how I was raised. I don't, it's always something we don't like. Like you can be the
Yeah.
perfect mom
Yeah.
and it's a child that is still going to complain and compare,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so when you're older and you go through things, you be like, my mama is not no punk. My mama is not no joke. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. I love it. So Melesha, tell everybody two principles that you live by right now. Can you hear me? Tell everybody two principles that you live by right now that has helped you succeed to where you are now. I did too. Can you hear me?
Can you
Can,
hear me?
I can. Well, it's low.
Okay.
Did you hear the question?
I don't know what happened. But if you can hear me, I can continue to talk.
I can't hardly hear you. I don't know what just happened. Talk now. Say something now. Okay, so everyone, she will be back in just a moment. Sometimes we just have technical issues. It's nothing no one can do about it. So I'm sure she will be right back on. Okay, so let me see. Add.
Can you hear me?
Yes! Awesome. So my question was tell everybody two principles that you live by now so that you can really step into your power, your strength, your womanhood.
Okay. I'm gonna put down two principles that I put you first and know your worth. But those two things I'm gonna tell you. Through that, those are my two principles, but I'm still learning because I still find myself sometimes putting other people before me. And I have to go back to that and remember, okay, when 2023 came in, my whole mindset was like on steroids. I'm totally committed to nobody but me
Okay.
because I have to work on me. There's things I need for me. You can't continue to give someone everything um about you. You can't give all yourself to them because you lose yourself. Then you realize you done gave so much to everybody else. I ain't got nothing enough for me.
Girl, been there, done that, wore the t-shirt. You hear me? I
Yeah,
understand. Yes.
that's what I said. That's why I said I am who I am now.
Yes,
And I'm
absolutely.
not going to change myself to fit into nobody's box, nobody's circle. You accept me for who I am. I'm not going to be the person that mistreats and abuses you, but I am who I am. You either accept me or you don't.
That's right. So you know what? It's a muscle because we wasn't taught self-care when we was younger, right? I
Mhm.
didn't even know those words, self-care,
That's right.
So it's
Hmm.
something that is a muscle that has to be built and it's a commitment that you have to do within yourself and boundaries that we have to establish with ourselves first and then with other people. Now we don't have to be nasty about it, but guess what? Accept my no's like you accept my yeses,
It's
right?
a 24/7 job.
It is. It is.
Even when you're going through a healing process, it is a job.
It
You may
is.
not be getting paid for it, but the pay you're getting is your self worth, your healing, and your confidence back.
That's right. That's
And
right.
see, I know it all too well. My heart has been broken 2 or 3 times, and I was asking myself, Lord, you're like, what's wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
I learned you can have a good heart and you can treat people right in spite of the way they treat you. But if their heart is not right, it doesn't matter. They're going to continue to be who they are.
That's right.
I'm very outspoken. I don't hold my peace with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that knows me, I don't hold how I feel. But the one thing I'm learning to do is to don't just stand up for myself when someone pisses me off. I'm going to stand up for myself all the time.
That's right. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So, Melesha, tell everybody, because Inquirer may want to know. You know, we talked about how strong your mom was and what your mom, but you said that you was a preacher's child. So
Yes,
what that mean is you obviously had a father in the home.
yes,
Okay, so with that being said, is there, not to male bash or father bash, but a lot of people are growing up as preachers' kids, right?
yes.
So does a preacher's does the people around outside of the home expect more from a preacher's kid?
They do. And see, in my house, my mom was the pastor.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And my mother has a strong personality. She is stern, and because of the way she grew up, she wanted to make sure her kids had what she didn't have, but she also governed it with her being saved. They called the old Southern holiness. We weren't allowed to, we didn't wear pants and jewelry and listen to blues and go out to parties. We didn't do any of that. And to this day, my mom is 76 years old. To this day, she still lives her life according to that.
So when you, because I heard that when people's parents are strict, including my own, I didn't go to college, off
Yeah.
to college, but my daughter, my oldest daughter did, like my children, my older two did. And I was kind of a strict parent. So when you, did you go off to college and was you just out there? Like you said,
Well, you
forget
know what?
this.
I actually left school and then I went back to get my GED.
Okay, gotcha,
I
gotcha.
got my GED a year later and I was accepted into the University of Tennessee. I've always been smart, very smart, and it was even though I got my GED, my scores were so high. I got the score that they require right now
Okay,
to get your
absolutely.
GED. Is more extensive and your score is higher. So I got that score that they need now back then. So they immediately when I applied was accepted in the University of Tennessee. So I was excited. I was getting stuff to go to get my dorm and getting stuff to go out to college and excited. But what got in the way? Love
Oh man.
and
Okay,
marriage.
gotcha.
And I wrestled between going out to college and getting married. And when you're young and you're blinded by love, a lot of times you can make decisions about what you feel and not making decisions of what's best for your life. And I
Yes,
think in
yes.
that's what I did. And that's probably one of the regrets that I have. I don't regret my daughters. I love them, but that is the one regret that I have, that I didn't decide to take that step and go to college, because if someone loved you, they would have been there when I got out of college. They'd have been there through the ordeal of going to college.
I love it. I love it. So now we're ending. What is your closing remarks to someone that is actually starting over their life, whether it's divorce, separation, they don't know what to do. Like, what is one or
I
two
would say
things?
just believe in yourself. And once you divorce somebody, let me go back just a little. Once you divorce somebody and get out of it, don't go back, because I did that.
Okay.
After we divorced years later, I we got back together, and to get married, it didn't last 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, here's the thing is that you got divorced for a reason. Did we quickly forget why we get divorced, right? So you
Yes, but you
think
know
people
what?
are going to change?
That first love stays with you.
Yeah.
But that second time around, you know what I realized? That I said, now I told my brother, I said, now the chapter is finally closed. And I
Okay.
haven't looked back, and I don't wish for anything. I wish them the best. But believe in yourself, know your worth, know what you deserve, and stand firm to what you want as a woman. We so many times get lax with men and get so consumed with them that we forget about our goals and dreams and what it is we demand and want from a man.
Oh, that's so good.
Because we want that love and to feel like somebody loves us and we got somebody. And I'm speaking to myself too.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
know, so we get so lax because we want love and we feel lonely and we feel alone. But what's the use of having somebody and you still feel alone?
Oh, you're preaching now. Absolutely. I
You know,
know.
I'm in a relationship now and we've had ups and downs, but I can honestly say at this point, I'm happy and I'm content and I have someone in my life who, you know, takes care of me. Not saying it's perfect. We have our ups and downs, but you know, when you get somebody who's settled and you look at them and then you like, they're settled. They know what they want. They're in their way. They're not letting anything deter them, not even me. So what does that say for me? That should be a something for me to tell me, do you and continue to do you.
That's right. That's right. I love it. Melesha, thank you so much for coming on here with me. Listen, everyone. Well, Leisha, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you if they want to contact you, if you allow that.
Okay, you can contact me here on Facebook under Melesha OG, on my business page, Boss Chic Designs Professional Services, and my She Bad Society platform where fierce women don't fake the process. I am on Instagram as well. I'm on Facebook as the author Chemistry, my newest book, When Love Can't Fix What's Broken. It'll be hitting out in a couple of months. I'm working on a stage play, taking submissions, so contact me. I'm ready.
All right. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much again. It is just such an honor to interview you, and it's such an honor to even know you. So thank you so much, Leisha, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you for having me. Bye
Okay.
bye.